What is up, guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Happy Friday, everyone. You've made it to the end of the week, and of course you're going to be watching a Life on the Wrist video on Friday. So today what we're going to be discussing is a watch collection for under $3,000. We have created one of these videos in the past where we discussed the perfect three-piece watch collection for under $5,000. What I thought I would do is create more videos about other price caps where you can create a really beautiful collection of 3 watches for a specific amount of money. And I think $3,000 is a lot of money to play with, and there's so many different options. So I'm going to go over some of the assumptions that we have in creating this video, just so that we you understand where I'm coming from and have a good base of where these watches kind of came together. But before we get into that, if you haven't seen our other video where we discuss a watch collection, a 3-piece watch collection for under $5,000, be sure to check out that video. We'll create there's probably going to be a playlist of all these 3-piece watch collections, so be sure to check that out. Also, if you like videos about watches, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and while you're hitting the subscribe button, the like button is really close, so if you wouldn't mind smashing this like button for this 3-piece watch collection, that'd be wonderful. So going back to the assumptions that I'm going to have when creating this 3-piece watch collection. The first is price. I'm going to be working with prices based on the market that I am in. The market that you are in, these watches may be priced differently, but I will be basing these the prices of each of these watches for the market that I am in. Also, the timing is also a big thing. This is we're in February of 2020, so if you are watching this in the future, the prices of these watches may have adjusted, so just keep that in mind. The second assumption is that these watches are to my taste. They are my idea of a 3-piece watch collection that I think anyone could enjoy, but it is my taste in watches, so it may not be your taste, and that's completely fine, but it's an assumption for this video. And then the last is, this is not the only 3-piece watch collection that I would come up with or would suggest you create for under $3,000. There are so many different options out there, and so many different tastes and personalities that you probably have. This is just a 3-piece watch collection that I think is a great way of kind of starting a 3-piece watch collection for under $3,000. So this is not the only 3-piece watch collection. If you have an idea of what your 3-piece watch collection would be sure to put it in the comments, so that you have so you can voice your opinions and perhaps help those who are looking for a collection of watches for under $3,000. So I'll get into the watches now. The first thing that I kind of thought about was, a lot of the times when people get into watches, they're looking for something a little bit more tooly, a little bit more rugged, a little bit more of a watch that they can wear every day, and they end up stumbling upon divers and get into diving watches because they're looking for that sporty element that a lot of divers have. So the first watch that I'm going to recommend is a sporty diver watch, and this is from Oris. I'm going to be recommending the Oris Aquis. This watch you can probably find for around $1,200. You can probably find it on the used market for perhaps a little bit less, but I'm going to go with $1,200 for the Oris Aquis. Oris is obviously a really well-respected watch manufacturer, especially for dive watches. They have a really vast history of creating very robust divers. One of the things that I like about the Oris Aquis is there's so many different variations of the watch. I went onto Oris's website and there's so many different dial colors and strap combinations, and you can get it on a rubber strap, but then you also have classic watches like black dial, black bezel. You can also get it in with like a blue dial and a blue rubber strap. There's so many different combinations you can have with the Oris Aquis. Just to give you some basic details about the Oris Aquis, the watch measures 43 millimeters in diameter. It has a 300-meter water resistance capability, so if you are going to end up using this for diving, 300 meters is plenty. The watch runs off of the Oris movement. That's the caliber 733, which is the Sellita based SW200. So nothing, I'm not going to say this in a negative way, nothing to write home about, but you're definitely getting a tried and true mass-produced movement that's obviously modified by Oris, but it's a Sellita based movement. I think this will scratch your itch when it comes to finding a sporty watch, something that you can wear every day, but you probably can still have a watch collection around it. So that's my first recommendation. The next recommendation is, I came from a mindset of, okay, I have my sporty watch, I have my diver. Perhaps I want to find something that is a little bit more classic in its design elements, and I want to wear on special occasions. And so there's so many different things that you can land on here. You can, Orient Bambinos, or so many. There's just it's so vast that it was hard for me to pick one. But I think landing on something quite interesting, and that is the Longines Conquest Heritage line. This is essentially the heritage line from Longines. Is a lot of their vintage pieces remastered into their modern collection, and the Longines Conquest is a great example of that. I'm going to put a price tag on this watch of about $1,000 US. Like I said, this is a watch that you're probably going to be looking for something a little bit more dressy, something that you're going to wear on a special occasion. I think the heritage line from Longines is so great because of the variations they have. I think a common theme between the Oris Aquis and the Longines Conquest Heritage is there's so many different variations. So I'm not locking you into one specific watch when it comes to these lines. You have some flexibility and creative flexibility to find one that you'll end up liking. Longines has a very, very deep heritage in things like horse racing, and within the Swiss watch industry, they're a very, very well respected company. This watch measures 35 millimeters. They also have a 40 millimeter version of this. Simple watches, really beautiful hour markers with the date. This is the movement that they're running off is the automatic movement L633, which is Longines' way of demarcating their movements. Essentially, this is an ETA 2824-2 watch movement modified by Longines. So similar to the Oris Aquis, you're getting a powerhouse, tried and true, mass-produced movement that is modified by Longines, but you don't have to worry about it, too many problems with it, as long as you take care of it. But I think this will scratch your itch when it comes to finding something for special occasions, a little bit more dressy, and is going to be the second watch. So at this point, we have the Oris Aquis and the Longines Conquest Heritage. We've used $2,200 of our $3,000 budget. And at this point, this is where you can kind of have a little bit of fun and find something unique that you're going to end up liking. I think the third watch here is where you can have creative, you can take control creatively, and you can come up with something. You could do something like a Swatch System 51, where you're getting a kind of a collectible and a kind of fun piece to play around with. You could also do something like a chronograph, so you have something that you can time with. You could even go vintage in this section. But I think, and I think this is something that I think should be common with just about every watch collector, and that is Seiko. I think experiencing Seiko and owning a Seiko, I think, is actually part of a watch journey. I think it's something that everyone should do. So I'm going to recommend a Seiko. In the last three-piece watch collection, I recommended getting an SKX as part of your $5,000 watch collection. And someone in the comments actually recommended a different Seiko, and I think that's what I'm going to land on here when it comes to adding to your third piece of this watch collection, and that is the Seiko Turtle, the SRP 777. This individual said that they recommended this watch instead of the SKX because for a couple reasons. They mentioned the hacking seconds when it comes to setting the time, the drilled lug, so it's easy to switch out straps. And I think it's a little bit different than the SKX. I think SKX is a really great watch. I wouldn't have recommended it if I didn't think it, but a lot of people are getting into SKX, and that's kind of like almost like a fallback when it comes to Seikos. So I'm recommending the Seiko Turtle 777. When it comes to all Seikos, extremely robust watch. Seiko is respected by all collectors, and I think it should be part of your watch journey. And I'd recommend it for similar reasons as the person who commented on the $5,000 collection did. Hacking seconds, drilled lugs, so you're able to have fun with straps and bracelets, and it's easy to get into and interact with the spring bars. It's also different than the SKX, and probably can spark other conversations than just, oh, it's an SKX. So that's going to be my third piece. You can get this for an extremely reasonable price. I mean, with an $800 left in your budget, I'm sure you can pick one of these up, and you'll probably still be underneath your $3,000 budget. So that is going to round out our collection. So just to go over it again, the first watch that I'd recommend for this perfect three-piece watch collection for under $3,000 is the Oris Aquis. Just kind of scratch your sporty itch, get your dive watch out there, and something that you can wear every day, kind of like the Submariner or Tudor Black Bay or Blanc Pas 50 Fathoms. The second watch is the Longines Conquest Heritage. This is going to be your dressier watch, something you're going to wear on special occasions. And then lastly, to round out your collection as well as your journey through watches, I will recommend the Seiko Turtle SRP 777. I hope you guys enjoyed this collection. Let me know what you think about the three-piece watch collection for under $3,000. Would you recommend a different watch in conjunction with some of these? Would you recommend a completely different trio? Would love to hear about those in the comment section. Also, if you've made it this far and you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and also check out our $5,000 collection where we discuss our three-piece collection there. Also, if you haven't smashed the like button, smash that like button for these three picks. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.